Hi, Queens. Sam here. I hope that you're doing amazing. Happy Friday and welcome to day 27 of the 30 in 30. Y'all gonna miss me once I'm done. Y'all gonna miss me. So, today I want to talk about three reasons to budget. And I know, when you talk about budgeting, some people like it, some people don't like it. There is the anti-budget movement, there is the no budget movement, there is the don't budget, just track movement. There is all kind of movement out there, and that is perfectly fine. The most important is that you need to find what works for you. And what works for you today might not work for you tomorrow, and that's perfectly fine. I've been, I'm someone who over the years, has been looking at, her finances, kind of like loosely looking at things and allocating money here and there. But I have to say, since I've had the kids, I have become more close to how I'm managing my money, and I really want to make sure that I know where my money is going, and I really want to tell my money where it's going, so I don't want it to go to places and then realize that I don't have enough money for it to go to, to pay bills that are really important. So I realized that, I need to budget properly. And I wanted to come here and share with you what are the reasons, or like, that I think that someone should definitely be looking into budgeting. And I've told you guys, I don't really like to use the word should, but the more I think about it, and even from my own perspective, I really think that, not everybody can sit and be like, oh, we can't tell everybody don't budget. Just, just like, do a plan or just do a system. Like, I also feel like at the end of the day, whether you call it a plan, a system, a budget, most of the time the idea behind it is the same. It's you knowing, having a good idea of where your money is going, and you allocating your money in line with what you want. What are your values, where your intentions, like, so for me, at this point of time, I realized that I needed to uh, make sure that, when I get paid, that essentially the money is going to places where I want it to go. Because as I've told you, and as if you have kids, they are expensive. They're expensive, not expensive, to the point that you can't breathe or anything like that. But they definitely come with additional expenses because they need to be cared for at the end of the day. And unfortunately, I have to say, living in North America, there are things that really should not be costing that much money when it comes to kids. But unfortunately, those things do cost money. And yes, hint, hint, I'm talking about daycare, like us, something like daycare. So the three reasons that I want to share with you here. The first one is, if you have more month than money in your month, you should be budgeting. What do I mean by more month than money? So essentially, if each time you find yourself running out of money, but your month is not done, and you need maybe to um, use your credit card or use your line of credit, use something to essentially make up for the time between pays because you don't have enough to pay your bills, you should budget. Because chances are, when you got paid, you use the money for, some other things, forgetting that maybe 5 days after, 10 days after, or at least before your next pay comes in, that you needed to pay for bills. And you don't want to be behind your bills. You don't want to be like, all the time having to like, call the company and be like, I can't pay now, is there any way to defer, and all of those things. Essentially that, if you're renting, you need to pay your rent. If you have utilities, you have to pay for your utilities, insurance, all of those things are like fixed expenses that are going to happen no matter what. So you really want to make sure to know which pay is going to be taking care of which bills. And so if you are want someone who doesn't budget, always has plenty of money, you don't feel any stress. Maybe you don't need to do that. In that case, you have more money than month. And that's a good position to be in. I've been in that position. I know it feels great. But homegirl is no longer in that position. And if you guys can hear banging, that's my twins having fun upstairs while I'm in the basement recording this for you. So you'll have to excuse the sound if you can hear, but hopefully you cannot because I'm not editing my videos, as you guys noticed. So if there is a sound, you will hear it. Going back to what I was talking about. So I've been in a position where honestly I wasn't really looking at where the money was going. I knew that I had plenty of money to cover bills, and then and some and some and some. Honestly, in that case, you don't really need to budget. You're fine. Everything is good. You don't really feel any pinch. All of the goals that you want to do, money goals, you reach them, you exceed them, then you're fine. However, if you are not in that position, if you're in the position that you have more month than money, then you really need to sit and take a piece of paper and a pen, or like grab an Excel spreadsheet and start putting in there your expenses, your income, when things are supposed to happen, and making sure that when your bills are coming due that you have enough money allocated already for that. So first reason, if you have more month than money, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, so that's another way of saying more month than money, then you should budget. The second reason that I do believe that it will be good for one to budget is if you are repaying debt, like me right now, right? So I started the year with $9,000 in debt because I used that to pay for my car. I had to change my car last year, and now I'm going to be increasing my debt because unfortunately, the daycare situation here in Canada, or at least in Ontario, or at least the city that I'm living in, is not really ideal right now. There are a lot of people seeking spots for the kids and not enough spots. So what happens is that even if you can, they say you can have access to those subsidized spots, well, none of them is available. You're on the wait list forever. So you still need, to work, right? In my case, I needed to go back to work. It's my first week back from mat leave. And so I needed to find a daycare for my kids. So I ended up finding one, but I have to pay, full fee, and that money needs to come from somewhere. And unfortunately, I did not plan for that. So this is going to be, I'm going to be increasing my debt until I can figure out something, or hopefully find a subsidized spot which is going to be more in line with my budget. And so, with that in mind, I can't just sit and be and not budget and not track my money to make sure that essentially at least I'm paying my debt. There's some money that I'm getting that is still going toward it, even if it's not as much as I want, and it's not definitely not going to prevent the debt from increasing. At least I want to make sure that I'm putting some money into debt. So I need to be able to allocate my pay into that. Do I need to be, like a hawk on, like, checking my spreadsheet every day? No. However, I can't just sit back as I used to do with my finances because I've automated few things and be like, I know everything will be fine. I need to be more diligent. I need to budget to making sure that essentially that debt becomes a bill for me, and so I need to make sure that it's being paid, and that I'm not using any money for anything that really is not bringing me any value right now. Because even if that debt is increasing, it's bringing me a lot of value right now, in the sense that I know my kids are somewhere where they cared for, which is allowing me to work and make money, although a good chunk of that money is being used to pay for daycare. But that's just the reality that I'm in right now, which I'm totally aware of. And I know it's a temporary situation. How long it's going to be for, I don't know. But hopefully, as the kids are growing, I'm going to get more spots available, because as the kids get older, there are more spots. It's really when they're younger, less than 18 months, it's a bit challenging to find a spot. But there will be 18 months at one point, and then I'll have more options, and hopefully I'll be able to put them in a daycare that is subsidized, in which case I don't have to pay full fee. So that will be the second reason that I can think of where I will strongly suggest for someone to budget. And then the third reason that I would strongly suggest someone to budget is, if you have no idea, no clue where your money is going, you don't even know how much you're making. Like, sometimes you talk to people and it's not like they don't want to tell you. It's really that they don't know. They have no clue. They don't know. Is it a good thing? Maybe, especially if they don't have any credit card debt, they don't have any debt, everything is tigru, then yeah, maybe. But sometimes those people have debt. It's really that they don't want to know. They kind of like build a wall between them and their financial life. It's almost like that, two different lives, but it's their life. It's so right. So you do not want to be in that situation, because one day something's gonna happen and you're gonna have to look at your finances, and you don't want to be in a situation where you don't even know where your money is going. So for me, I feel like budgeting is probably the first small step that you can do to getting into at least looking at your finances, getting closer to your money, because it's your money, your hard earned money, and having an idea of how things are playing behind the scene of you swiping your card, or I don't know, not looking at your statement, just really being able to be present in your own financial life. That would be the third reason. And so in me getting really into budgeting, I have to say I got into a rabbit hole on YouTube and checking budgeting channels, and I'm going to recommend a few here, and I'll also list their their channels in the description of this video. So the first one that I'm following right now, her name is Jazmine, and her channel is Budget Treasures. And so she does budgeting. Right now, she's a zero-based budget. So if you guys know what it is, then that's fine. If not, check out her channel. It's really terms that I've learned as I've got into, I guess, the budgeting world a bit more. There is a whole budgeting world here on YouTube, amazing community. And so Jazmine, Budget Treasures, and then the second one is Stephanie Builds Wealth. Her channel is a bit newer than Jazmine, and what I like about her channel, actually, she does budgeting, but also she talks about the psychology of money, which is something that I'm very interested in. That's something that I talk to my customers about. So if you guys don't know, I do money coaching, and a good chunk of my money coaching with people sometimes also is around their whole own psychology of money, really understanding why they think about certain things this way or this way. So we work on some challenges or roadblocks that they may have, which may be preventing them from investing. Because my end goal, as you guys know, is to get more Black women into the investing, right? So we work on some roadblocks like that. So Stephanie Builds Wealth, and her name is Stephanie. Definitely a channel to check out if you're interested in the whole psychology of money. The third one is Tasha Journeys, and Tasha actually is she's a CPA by trade. She has an upcoming live video where she will be talking about budgeting for beginners. I believe it's on February 11th. So do check her channel if you want to see what she talks about, and if you want to ask questions live, that could be a good opportunity for you. And me and Tasha and three other Black women, actually, as of I think February 15th at 8 p.m., we are going to have a live on from Lack to Legacy channel. So her name is Sandra, and the I guess the name of the series is Money After Dark, and we're going to be talking about those money topics that hot topics, but so hot that not many people want to talk about it. It's kind of like a bit tougher to talk about it in circles. So we're going to be talking about that. And I've put a post on my community tab about that. So do check that out. And there is a link for the live. You guys can just, click the notification bell so you're notified when we go live. And but definitely it's going to be on February 15 at 8 p.m. So myself, Tasha, and then Sandra, of course, from Life to Legacy, because the live will be on her channel, and two other Black women, also content creators who talk about money, will be out there. I'm the only Canadian, so my Canadian people, you need to tune out, and you can ask me all those Canadian related questions. So that'll be the third channel I would suggest. So far, Budget Treasures, Stephanie Builds Wealth, and Tasha Journeys. And then the fourth one is Cathy of the House, and her name is Kitty. Not Kitty of the House. I said it in French, but it's Kitty of the House, and her name is Kitty. And I like her channel. I I really like, the way she does budgeting. It's not too detailed, but it's for me. I feel like it's good enough that I can get a good grasp of budgeting and doing sinking fund. They on she was her and her family done the journey of paying down debt, so she shares her debt payoff journey. So yeah, so those channels, I'll suggest you check them out. Like I say, I'll put a link to those channels in the description below this video, and you guys can choose. Hopefully, you'll find someone that will align with you if budgeting is something that you would like to do. So there you have it. That was day 27. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, don't forget to give me a thumbs up on this video and also subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. And if you have anyone in your life that you're like, girl, you need to learn about budgeting, send that person the video so they can at least get a better sense of how they can get started. I'll share any of the channels that I've talked about here with them, and come back tomorrow for day 28. I believe that will be, yeah, we only have 3 videos left in the series, so we're getting close. Again, thank you so much for watching and coming back every day to watch me. It's been a great journey, challenging but eye-opening, definitely. So until tomorrow, keep on building wealth. Bye bye.